Hey guys, what's going on? It's Space Cowboy here. Welcome back to the channel, and today we have to talk about this Eagles-Cowboys matchup coming up on Sunday Night Football. Now, let me be clear. I will say this. I would be lying to you if I said I was not nervous with this game. Listen, I'm nervous. It's a tough game. Primetime game. Huge stakes on the line. It's going to be a tough game. No doubt about it. Both teams are 3-3. Can take sole possession of first place with a win. Obviously, Dallas is limping into this game. Not like they're hurt. Well, obviously they are, but I'll get to that momentarily. They're limping into this game with the slow starts and the 3 straight losses. Meanwhile, Philadelphia's coming off that shellacking by Minnesota. Now, I will tell you that both teams have the ability to win this game. I'm not going to deny it. But what I will tell you is this. I would not be shocked if whatever the outcome is, because both teams have their own issues that they have to deal with. So when we look at what's going on in this game in terms of the injury report, okay, for the Eagles, Deshaun Jackson, Jason Peters, Nigel Bradham, Avonte Maddox, Timmy Jernigan, and Darren Sproles have been ruled out of this game already. Obviously, I know, what's his face? Andre Dillard, the first round pick for the Eagles this season. He's been doing solid. But I'm really curious to see how Robert Quinn matches up with him. And obviously, the injuries on defense for the Eagles, kind of opens things up. I understand that there was a stat that came out that the Eagles have let up, I believe, what was it, 6, I think it was? Let me take a look. So the Eagles' pass defense has been pretty porous, as they've yielded 100-plus yards to 6 different receivers this season. And they have given up the most explosive plays through the air in terms of, like, I believe 20, I think it's like 30 or 50 plus. I don't remember the exact metric, but they have 7 plays of, like, the most, I don't remember, but that's besides the point. The point is that the Cowboys have a weakness that they can expose. Now, based off of the Cowboys injury report, the only person that's been ruled out of this game is Anthony Brown. Not like we're going to miss him or anything. The question is like, there's a bunch of questionable lists. Everyone that was on that injury report is questionable. Now, I do... based off of that assumption, if you are questionable and you're a game time decision, I'm assuming you're going to play. But then again, I wouldn't be shocked if some of these guys didn't play. But if the Cowboys are fully healthy with the exclusion of Anthony Brown and there are no issues, they should have the ability to win this game. It just comes down to can they get back to what they were winning with? And the thing is that in the past 2 games, they were unable to really get back to that bread and butter of play action that we were seeing. I mean, they were trying it, don't get me wrong, and it wasn't being successful, and the slow starts have been decimating the Cowboys. But we also have to pay attention to the Cowboys' defense. The Cowboys' defense has allowed itself to pretty much get gashed early in games. And by the time the offense kind of starts getting stuff together, it's just not worked. So here's the deal. If I'm the Cowboys, do not be afraid to pass the ball. The Cowboys need to be able to air it out. I understand you want to play an honest defense, but here's the thing. If what I believe the key to victory is, and I mentioned it, I believe I mentioned it not too long ago, is, attacking that pass defense of the Eagles, okay? Obviously, their front 7 is very good. It's one of the better ones in the league. But if the Cowboys I think the receivers can very much so take advantage of the Eagles' cornerbacks, okay? If they can manage to get take advantage of that situation, I think Dallas will win this game. You know, Amari Cooper has had great games versus the Eagles, more or less. Michael Gallup has shown he can get separation in some of these games. Especially, you know, I mean, last year is last year, but Michael Gallup showed he can be, you know, he has the ability to take advantage of what Philadelphia has to give him. But, you know, it also comes down to the Eagles more or less getting themselves together, because listen, the Eagles are by all means a team that can turn it on when they get things going. If they get their running game going, it's going to be tough to stop them. Okay, because the thing is that with what they're doing with Wentz isn't being asked a whole lot. When the, you know, especially when they're running if they're efficient on offense, they don't have to ask Wentz to do a lot. And I think that that's something that, you know, it can mirror the Cowboys, is that, listen, yeah, we can argue that, yes, you need to get your run game going. But the thing is, we saw in the first couple weeks what made the Cowboys good was they would score a ton of points to start off the game, and they would give you doses of the run game to end it. And that's what happened in the first 3 games, regardless of the opponents. That's what got the Cowboys to a 3-0 record. And they can easily get back on track with a win. You know, if you win this game, go into the bye week at 4-3, it's a lot better for your team, and it sets you up nicely going, you know, for the bye week, and then the matchup versus the Giants on Monday Night Football, which, you know, it sucks because then we got to wait another day to see our Cowboys play, but that's okay. So what am I expecting? Listen, I'm a firm believer in that unless I see something different, or unless I see, you know, things change, I can't continue. Listen, based off of the last 3 games, if that's how we're going, and considering the fact that we could even take the last 2, for example, if they go, listen, I have that feeling that the Cowboys, if they end up being in a situation where they're down like 20-7 or something like that in the third quarter or halftime, I'm not expecting a win if you're down by double digits come halftime. And that's the honest. Listen. There was. I'm trying to remember what it was. There was a stat that showed that when the Cowboys are down by like a certain amount of points, like the odds of them winning are like 0. I don't remember off the top of my head, which sucks. But the point is, Dallas, I'm not expecting them to go into halftime and during this game at like 35-0. I'm not expecting a complete blowout. I'm expecting a close game. All I'm saying is, don't let the game get out of hand early, and we got to play catch up. Right. Dak Prescott and his receivers, man, they gotta figure out, you know, what's going on, because most of the time it's the receivers dropping balls. Like I think there was like 5, if I remember, from the Jets game, and Dak had a 70% completion percentage. Not that that matters, but it just shows you that, hey, listen, he's trying his best. And then, of course, Dak needs to, and I've been noticing this, is he has got to get better with throwing, in terms of leading his receivers. I think he could easily fix that. It's not like he's missing them from the broadside of a barn. It's like, nah, he just needs to fix it by a bit. And that's pretty much it. I mean, obviously, the offensive line cannot afford to keep getting Dak beat up, because that's not good. And they gotta open up the run lanes for Zeke and Pollard. They need to get Pollard more involved, because if you're going to be an effective dynamic offense, you need to be able to have that flexibility in terms of, okay, if we can put this guy in here, he can do the exact same thing Zeke can do. So a player that I'm looking at to really gash and break out in this game, I'm saying Michael Gallup, man. I understand that Amari Cooper has done his things to the Eagles when he was in Oakland and last year, but what I will tell you is that I believe that if the Eagles are going to hone in on a Cooper, assuming he plays, look, I'm expecting Michael Gallup to have some big plays. And so I'm hoping that the Cowboys start out fast when they get the ball on offense. and they just play keep away when they're up and score. All you got to do. So the next thing, and I don't want to go on for too long. The thing is that when it comes down to the end of it, the Dallas Cowboys have to basically, on offense, expose and attack that weak Philly secondary, and on defense, clog up the run lanes and make Carson Wentz beat you. Okay, I know that sounds stupid. Oh, Space Cowboy, Carson Wentz is a good passer. I know, but the thing is that if you can get him to pass the ball a ton, what that does is it stops the clock for you, and it allows you to play keep away to where, okay, if they end up going 3 and out, or they end up going on one, get a first down or two, and they don't result in points, and you're scoring points, guess what? They have to play catch up, and that's exactly how. Listen, the Vikings showed how you can beat the Eagles last week. You know, I'm not saying you don't have to do that exactly, but you have to be able to get down. They got to get the ball deep, take deep shots, and you have to be able to run the ball effectively. I'm not asking for 200 yards on the ground or in the air by a receiver. I'm just asking to play efficient offense, get that done. And I swear to God, Brett Maher better make his kicks when needed. Okay? I'm expecting the game to start off slow, and it's going to pick up. I'm not expecting a fast start for either team. If that happens, I think that this game, you know, the game's not even out of reach, even if whoever jumps out early. But guys, it's do or die for Dallas. We win this game, we're back on track probably. We lose this game, not out of it, but probably. So, I thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this. If you haven't already, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel. And yeah, guys, let's hope for a win on Sunday. See you guys. Bye-bye.
I used to live in Sin Cities like Bruce Willis, but I'm Jackie Chan, karate chopping, I'm still kicking. I used to be chopped and screwed, I'm Lil flipping. Now I'm nice, Mike Jordan, so who's pippin'? I'm running man, you the running man, you still slipping. I hit records, you swinging, it's still